Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
There is a functionality called Worksheets which Workday has launched. What does Worksheet do? Worksheet is more or less similar to Google Sheets. Everything you can do it within Workday system. What Workday thought is that people should not download the data from Workday and then they should not be doing analysis outside the system. So they plan to have everything within the system. So what they did is they did an integration on a worksheets, a function called worksheets. The worksheets is an inbuilt functionality within Workday wherein it allows user to do changes or updates or edit or delete within Workday. So for worksheets, Workday introduced an option called Drive. Before few years back, we had an option called W Drive. So whatever reports that you schedule to an end user or whatever reports that you run it and store it, that place will be called as W Drive before few years, like 3-4 years I think. After which what Workday did is, they changed the view drive name to my reports. And then so from the view drive they changed the name to my reports. However, they kept the drive as it is, so that now we are able to use this functionality to create our own worksheets or to store data within Workday and provide a link for that data. So what drive means in typically? Drive is kind of a folder that you have on your system. Like a folder, write a drive that you have on your system. You have your own drive and only you can access the drive unless you provide access to others. This drive is owned by the person who has logged in, so that person only will have access to drive. Others cannot see data that are stored in an individual drive unless and otherwise if that information is being shared with them. So let's assume that you have a folder, write your drive for yourself, and then what you do? You normally store all the files here like a PDF or document or Excel, like that, right? So that is the main purpose of Workday to launch this drive option. So as of you know now, there are two functionality that Workday launched with the use of this drive option. One is worksheets. The second one is live pages. Both resembles more or less similar to Excel or PowerPoint. No say. So Microsoft Excel or Google Sheet or worksheets all are same when it comes to functionality. Right. There is an additional thing called live pages. Okay, just for you to know. Okay, there are many companies haven't even started using that. There is another functionality called live pages. Live page, what it does? It's exactly the mirror of PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint, the slides that you prepare, right? Live pages is similar to that. So what Workday typically wanted the customer to do is they should do everything within the system rather going out and using multiple applications, right? So whatever data that you have, you can build live pages from their worksheets. So let's do a different aspect now. So now let's come to worksheets. So worksheet is something that you can store it from your system, like you can upload. Can you see there is an option called upload? So this add new, you can just upload from your desktop. You can just, select and worksheets. Let's take this one that I've created, so you can just upload it. See, it's getting uploaded in your drive. Nobody can see unless you. The owner is myself and I can only access it. Nobody can see this one. So this is something wherein you can store your data or personal files here. Suppose within Workday, if you want to create a link like a quick link, right? There is an option called quick link. What quick link does is, you remember on Workday dashboard, we have seen an option called quick link, so you can actually provide a link and then see and hyperlink right in. Typically we use an option called hyperlink. What hyperlink does, you can put a link over there and then if a user tries to click that one, it will take them to that particular page, web page, right? That is the functionality of hyperlink, right? Same way in Workday the hyperlink, we will call it as quick link. So we are looking into multiple functionality, so don't get confused. Okay, the reason why I'm telling about quick link is you can create your own link. You can create your own hyperlink from the data that you upload it here, and then you can use it in dashboards, or even you can use it in any of your process manual so that it will refer. It will refer within the Workday system. It will not go outside of the system, but quick link, you can create an external link also, like you can just type in Vayugulikam. You can copy that link and then you can create a quick link action item, so that you can use that, and if user clicks that one, it will take them to the Google account. Is just for a sample I'm saying, but typically you can use any links, like if you are working in an organization, that will be process manuals. They will store some process documents in a SharePoint folder, right? So what you can do, if an end user of access, you can copy that SharePoint access link and then you can put it. You can create a quick link and then you put it. You can put the link over there. So create quick link. Okay, I think I clicked quick link group. So there is an option called maintain quick links right in the maintain quick links. I think you might be remembering that we discussed this while we were building the bird report and dashboard. So you can create your own quick link. So let me say for testing, just I'm giving a name, you can provide a URL here. So I'm just going to mention us, or let me mention something from the drive itself. So I have created this, right? So I'm going to give a share option, the first Excel sheet. I'm going to share. I'm saying link sharing on. I'm sharing. I mean whoever has the link access, they can view it. Right. There are two options. Either you can share it with individuals or you can create a sharing link whoever have access to Workday. They can ask and whoever have access to Workday, first point. Second point, whoever access to the link, they can view the information. I am going to mention it as headcount report. Okay, so I created a quick link now. Now I'm going to try clicking that link. Let me see how we can. So this is the link, right? If I'm going to copy and paste this link in a new tab, it should take me to that Excel sheet, right? See, can you see? It is directly taking me to that Excel sheet. Yes, just because the drive option is within Workday. It's very easy for us to share link. See, suppose if in a real scenario, the company would have stored all the documents in a SharePoint folder and many users may not have access to the SharePoint folder, even though they might have access to the file. They cannot access it because they do not have access to the SharePoint folder. So in those scenarios, what you can do is you can put those files in the drive, and drive is most secured. Only the person who has access to Workday can access drive, right? So they can put the data over there and they can create a sharing link and they can share it with users, whoever need it or whoever have access to it. So when I clicked on that, you can see it is directly taking me to the report output. So you can either create a link or you can just type in the name also. Let me type in the name. See, I'm going to share this with. I can share it with many users. What is her name? See, I can share it with many users also, so they can get into their drive and then they can view this Excel file. So this is mainly for collaboration. So if you are building something, if you are giving only view access, so the access that I gave is just view access, right? But I can also give edit access or comment access when you are sharing data with customers. If you are giving comment access, so when you are going to do some sort of a collaboration between you and the end user, right? You are saying that, hey, I have this report. Okay, I have prepared this report as per your requirement. Go through the report. If you have any questions, then use the comment option. You are going to say that, right? Then what the end user can do is they can. If you give that access as a comment access, they can view the Excel file and they can add their comments over the specific field. So this will help you to do a lot of collaboration. Right? Rather just imagine if you are having an Excel sheet outside and then what you do, you put it in a shot. Quick links, right? No. So you don't get confused. The reason why I said we can get this is on Drive. Quick link is something wherein you create a link for the data that you have within Workday or outside Workday. Both the things you can do with quick link. Okay, this is just a functionality. I'm saying you can add quick links on the dashboards. You can add quick links on the worklet. You can add quick links on the announcement or you can create a notification. So many things are there. So quick link is an additional functionality. That's why I said don't get confused with two different functionalities. This is a separate one. Worksheet is a separate one. I'm saying okay. Yeah. See, suppose let's assume that you have created a quick link. Okay, there are two things. One, normally when we will create a quick link, right? That is a question. When we will create means 1A. If you have some documents outside Workday, you want to create a link to the document and you want the end user to access it within Workday. That like kind of a pathway, right? A path to the document, creating a link that will drive the customer to, that will take them to access that particular document. That's where you create a quick link. A quick link can be created for a share doc, share folder as well. Like you have a SharePoint site. You have a document placed in a specific folder in the SharePoint. You can copy that link and then you can create a quick link. See, you cannot directly insert an hyperlink within Workday. So for inserting an hyperlink, you need to create a link. You got my point or confusing? Yes, no. So the reason why is I was explaining about quick link now is rather putting documents on the SharePoint and then getting a link and then creating a quick link. That will take more time, right? Better you have the document within your drive. You share it, you create a link. If you link sharing on, you will get a link. Copy the link and then go to quick link and then update the link. As simple as it is. Now you can use this name as a quick link for in your dashboards or in any of your process manual. So if they click this one, it will automatically take them to this report. Okay, as simple as it is. So let's come to drive option. So now we have uploaded this file. Okay, this file is the data is from external. This is not within Workday. I just uploaded a file from my desktop, right? Let's open the report. So you can see that this data is from my desktop. I have uploaded this file, correct? You can see there are two sheets. One is it count. The other one is okay. The reason we are seeing this is I have uploaded a template. Okay, so let me try to upload any data that we have. Okay, so forget about that. Let me do a different thing. I'm going to add a live data. Okay. Live data meaning I have a report in Workday, right? I am going to get the output of that report through here. Okay, so you can see there is an option called workbook. Before what I did an upload. Then I uploaded the Excel file from my desktop. Now I am going to create a workbook within my drive. It's like you are creating a new work Excel spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to name this workbook as it count new care. Now the headcount new KR report has been created. A new worksheets. Okay, Excel spreadsheet. I have created. Now it's a blank spreadsheet, right? Nothing is there. Now what I need to do is I want to pull a report here. Report data, right? The data we report. I need to pull it here for that. What I have to do is I'm going to search for the report that we build. It counts. Build something called. Okay, I think this is the one, right? Which one we created? Maintain Excel template. Hit confirm maintenance. Yeah, okay, this is a simple report. Okay, so I'm going to do one small step to get the live data in my worksheet. So what I need to do is you have to edit the report. Okay, you have to go to advanced. And then there is an option called enable for worksheets. Right, you have to enable this report. Okay, so this is the report for worksheets. When you are trying to enable this worksheet, it will ask you to enable as web service as well. Okay, you have to enable it as web service. We did both the steps. Okay, remember, when you want to enable it as worksheets, you have to enable it as web service. When you enable it as web service, if you have additional related business object, you have to create a grouping. Okay. So now what we did is it confusing or am I clear? No, you are clear. Okay. So now I'm going to pull the output of this report here. Okay, it will be like kind of a magic, you will see. So I am going to add a live data, right? And then I have this report. Why this report is displaying here? Because I enable it as worksheets. Okay. If I uncheck that one, let me show you. Suppose if you are searching for a report, these are some of them errors that a report writer will make. They will go to add live data, but they will not be able to find the report. And they will be scratching their brain. Why it's not coming up? They wouldn't have enabled it for worksheets and they wouldn't have enabled it as web service. Now let me search. See headcount, report is not showing up. Even if I search also, it will not come. So I need to enable it as worksheets. Remember, we have to edit the report, go to Advanced tab. Enable as web service and then enable it as enable for worksheets. 2 steps you have to do. We are done. Now let me try to search the report name now. Okay, we got the report. what and all columns that we have here. We have 8 columns. You can see the count here, right? There are 8 columns. All the columns are displayed here. Along with that, you also see the report type. What report type we have? Bid advanced report type. So you can see that also here. Now I'm going to give next. It's like a step-by-step wizard. Right next. Now if you run this report, it asks for location, country. The same thing, you will see it here. Suppose if you want to generate data for any specific country, you can type the country name. Let's assume. Okay, this is one of the most important scenario that you might face. This report, right? The end user, a customer, do not have access to this report. The reason is they do not. There is a sensitive field in the report. Just an assumption. Okay, in real. I don't know whether if this field is report as a sensitive field. Let's check. I think gender will be there. If so, this would be a perfect example. Yeah, see, gender is there. So, since gender is there, any customer cannot access this report because it has a sensitive data. Alright. So, what will happen is they will ask you to schedule this report to them because they do not have access. Let's assume that you have all the approvals for to share this report with them. Okay, that customer belongs to us. So there is another customer. They are from UK. Okay, and they also do not have access. They are asking you and you are going to schedule. Okay, the main purpose of adding a prompt is you can use the prompt. I mean, you can use the same report and you can filter it by country and you can schedule it to the individual users. Right? So you can use the same report for UK and US as well. Similarly, worksheets. Also, you can use the same prompt like, I'm going to share this with the customer for us. So you can just share it and then you can give next and then you can do that way, or there is another option. This prompts is more or less similar to how you generate the report, right? But in worksheet, there is an additional functionality that we are going to see now. So I am going to say so. So suppose let's assume for the customer from us. They did not get access to view the gender field, but they can view other fields that are in this report. So the customer is saying I need 7. I have 7 fields from this report except gender. Okay, they should not be able to view this gender. However, they are saying I want rest of the data from here. So what we normally do? We create another report. We add all the fields except gender and then we share it with them. Right. In a normal scenario, forget about that. We do not have a worksheet functionality. Okay, let's talk about the normal scenario. There was a requirement wherein they want all these fields except gender. So what we can do, we have to copy this report, remove this. Exactly. Right, two-way work. You are doing copy, you are adding an additional report just for removing this field and you are sharing it. It's unnecessarily waste, right? That is not the right practice. But this worksheet has a very good functionality. See, I'm going to give next. It will allow you to choose the columns that you want that to be displayed to the customer. So I'm going to say select everything except gender. See, I haven't selected gender. And then I'm going to click next. I'm going to say there are two options, either live data or static value. Static is it remains constant unless you create a connection. Live data means whenever you log in. Every time, not every day. Every time that you click on that worksheets, it will get updated. Okay, right? Live data means as if you are running a report now, same way you have to refresh, you will get the live data. Right? Okay, so I'm going to add live data. It will take some time based on the data size. Okay, wait for some time. See now. You did not create. You did not end up in creating an additional report, right? You are using the same report, but you are restricting the gender field. See, the gender field is not up visible here. Now you can share this report with end user. I'm going to share it with Steve. Okay, so Steve can only see the data that is available here. He cannot see any other data like gender and all. He cannot see because we have already restricted. So this is the benefit of worksheets. Rather creating multiple reports. You can, so this is one of its functionality. Write one of the functionality that works it, as this will help us to do a lot of collaboration. And I can also add a comment saying that. So if you are if someone is doing a data audit and they are saying that this location should not be New York, they think this location should be Dallas. They can just go and say this location should be the last. Okay, comments added. Now you can just see, if you take the comments, it will say this location should be Dallas. Let me click somewhere. Sorry, I did not create a reference before. This location should be. See exactly. So now you can see there is a reference. I'm going to create a reference. View reference. So I'm just going to click somewhere. Now if I say view reference, it is taking me to that particular cell. So in this way you can do a lot of collaboration between customers and the report writer. Another thing, when I say it's live data, now which live data? But suppose if some data has been added or removed, it will not get refreshed. So what you have to do? You have to again click live data. I should say refresh all live data. There is an option called refresh all live data so that it will refresh. Right? It will see. It is getting data from Workday directly. In theory, what you will do in real scenarios, you have to again run the report, download the Excel and share it right now. You can just refresh and you will get the live data. Another functionality of worksheet is so now what we have, what and all we have seen. You can use the drive for storing files. You can create a link for the file that you have uploaded. Two things, you can create a workbook inside the drive or you can upload a workbook that you store it in your desktop. Okay, and then now what we are seeing is we are trying to create a connection to the Workday report and then we are pulling the data and then what we have seen, the same report, we can restrict the columns. We can only show list of columns that the user has got. You can share the report with them. You can do a collaboration and then you can refresh the live data. The last one on this worksheet is you can schedule the refresh. Schedule a live data refresh. Same way how you schedule a report, you can do this every day or every other day, every month, every time you can do. Okay, it depends whatever you give, it will automatically get refreshed. This can be done only by the owner unless and otherwise you give access to that. The refresh can be scheduled only by the owner of the data. Okay, other thing what? And all you do it on the Excel. Let's do something. So I'm good. I need a pivot. Okay, I have selected the data. I'm going to say insert pivot. Data, I have selected the data, have clicked insert, and then I selected pivot, create pivot table. Okay, it has automatically selected the source data. Going to say whether if I want that to be on the existing sheet or the new sheet. I'm going to say it's a new sheet. I want this data to be in the new sheet. So the data is created. Now I want this to be by location or country. Let me put it on the low. So once you do that, you have to give update. See, now it's by country. And now I wanted to create a chart. Let me put a chart, insert chart right. I want a chart to be displayed here. The system will automatically prepare a chart and then it will allow you to modify the view that you wanted to do. See, are you able to see? See, so this chart right. Then I'm going to do something here. I'm going to delete this. I have deleted. Okay. They did get refresh. I have given undo. Right. He's from Kolkata, India. And then he's a prince. Let's see in India. The count should reduce. Where is India? India 688, right? If I remove one, I am unable to remove. You cannot edit. Okay, since already the data is there. The formula is there. We are unable to delete it, but if you are pulling the report from Workday, if there are some terminations, this will automatically get updated. You don't need to do a refresh. Do you follow me? So this spreadsheet right, it already has a link created. This is this as a pivot and this is a chart. This pivot is from this data. This chart is from this pivot. So everything is connected, interconnected, right? So if you are refreshing a data, let me refresh. Every time you refresh, this will also get refreshed automatically. You don't need to go and update the pivot. In Excel, we used to do right every time we go and refresh it. We don't need to do it. It will also automatically get refreshed. So that is an additional functionality of worksheets. Whatever you do it in Excel, you can do it. For example, if you want to add additional information like additional columns here. Let me do a concatenate test. So this data is not there in Workday, right? We are creating it. I'm going to combine these two. So other good thing of this is it will not disturb the actual live data place. So you can keep adding multiple. Working here? You understand. So every time you refresh, right, this will also get refreshed based on the data that we see here. So it's more or less how you work in a normal report. You download the report, you do it in Excel. You do all these workings right. Rather, you can do everything within Workday, and whenever you need to refresh the data, you can do so. That is the functionality of worksheets. Okay. You can share this by clicking the share icon. You can also do a link sharing, or you can just share this with the name. You can also see who has access to this. This is the functionality of worksheets. Any question? So you can have multiple worksheets. You can see how the data has been stored. You can also delete. If you do not want this, you can delete it. Similarly, whatever you do it on your drive, okay? Let's see. The next one is calculated fields. Okay, so let's choose worker. So what people used to say when they create a calculated field is, you have to think of a pyramid. Right? You know how pyramid will look like in a rectangle. Sorry, triangle shape. Yeah, so pyramid will look like a triangle shape. So you have to, whenever you creating a calculated field, you have to think from the endpoint to from the top to the bottom. Right? You should not go in. So let me tell you how. So how you claim? Normally, if you want to claim a pyramid, you will go from the bottom to the top, right? Yes, but when you are creating a calculated field, you have to come from top to bottom. What is the top is the actual location of that particular data that you need. What data you need, the actual place that where the data is stored. So you have to go to that and then you have to come behind. You should not go forward, you have to come reverse. Only then you will be able to create a proper calculated field. It's like a chain reaction. You have to keep joining things to finally achieve the data that you need to create. What are the different functions that we have on the calculated field? Let me quickly go through some and then we can probably test one or two. Aggregate related instance. What is aggregate related instance? If you want to combine multiple data into one single file, aggregate the output, aggregate the values. Right, for that, you create aggregate related instance. Arithmetic calculation is where you do all the mathematical calculation, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Write bill date is where you wanted to create your own date based on the data that you give. You should create a new date. It's like building your own date based on the fields that you define. Right. Concatenate text. You might know concatenate is like joining. Multiple. Text that we did it on the worksheets. Now write. We combine both location and country. That is concatenate text. So you can combine two fields in Workday to have a concatenate text. Convert currency is like you want to convert a currency from USD to INR or something like that. Text to number is if you want to convert the text field to a number. Count related Is doing a count in Excel equal to count formula? Is there right? That is what count, related instance. Date constant, you want to have a constant date. Date differences, you want to find out the difference of days or months or years between two dates. Like if they are asking you to calculate what is the age of an employee, that they have the birth date and today's date. From that you can find out the years, right? If you have a birth date and today's date, with that you know how to calculate age in years, so you can do that day difference. Evaluate expression is nothing but if condition. If then else statement is there, right? That is what evaluate expression. You can create your own condition. Both evaluate expression and expression band are similar, wherein in the in expression you have to create additional fields as a value, but in band you can define your own fields like kind of a free form text. You can, if this condition is true, then show something like that you can mention. Extract multi-instance is something like you have a field called dependents or something that has a 3 icons. This is a single instance, right? The one-to-one relationship, one-to-many, is called multi-instance. Right, one-to-many is called multi-instance. If you want to convert that as a multi-instance, then you can use this if you want to convert a single instance into a multi-instance. You can use this, or you can even use the same multi-instance and then you can extract multi-instance fields here. But if you want to convert any multi-instance into a single instance, then you have to use extract single instance. Pulling one particular line item from that data from a multi-instance field, right? That is called extract single instance. Let me go through the list and then finally I will tell you which and all will be majorly used. Okay, format date is something like you want to do a formatting of a date like date, month, date, year, or DDMY or DDMMY, all those things. Format number is same like decimals, adding dollar symbol or putting a 2 decimal, 3 decimal, all those things you can do. And then format text is uppercase, lowercase, propercase, etc. And then increment or decrement date is if you want to say like from today subtract 365 days or from today add 90 days. For that you can use increment or decrement date. Add or increase date, right? Lookup date rollup. You can again use that as a date rollup. You can roll up couple of dates from the field that you have. Okay, the below dates or the above, all those things you can do. All these lookup are more or less similar. The functionality is equal to VLOOKUP OK that you do it in Excel. There is a formula called VLOOKUP OK in Excel, right? The same functionality has a multiple options here. You can do a hierarchy lookup. You can do organization lookup. You can look up related value. You can actually translate the value. You can look up value as of a specific date. You remember we were discussing, I think in the earlier class, that if someone is asking you to get a head count as of a specific date, then you can use a lookup value as of that specific date. Count of employees as of certain date, like that you can create. And then numeric constant is somewhere. You want to say this is the number that should appear. Like, and you can create your own number 20, 21, 15, 19, 99, like that you can create your own number. Prompt for value. You can create that as a prompt. Whenever someone runs that report, it will ask for a value. Substring text is something that you do, a delimited text in Excel, right? Do you know how to delimit the text in Excel? I have done it. Yeah, so the delimited is very simple, like you split the words based on a specific field. So that is what the substring text is. Delimit in Excel, substring text in Workday. Both are same. Okay, some related instances. Something like if you have 5 employees whose salary is 100. And if you want to sum their salary 500, for that you can use some related instance. For salary for time of balances, you can use some related instance. The same thing, you have 5 employees and each one have 100 rupees as the account balance. I want to know count, then you have to use count related instance. If I use, it will say 5. If I use sum, it will say 500. Right? And then text constant, similar to numeric constant. We create our own text. You can define that if I want to create a text called approved. I want to create a text called submitted. I want to create a text called cancel, like a free text. Okay, you can find out the text length, also number of characters. There is a formula called len, I think in Excel. That len will actually count the number of letters. In that I mean number of text in that field. So I think the same way you can create the text length true or false. It's like a condition, yes or no condition. Okay, all these are not majorly used. Let me go through the majorly used functions. Okay, say I will try to share you the calculated fields document if I have, so that you can play around with that. Okay, because calculated fields is actually not a training subject. It is based on the experience of the requirement you created. If you ask me honestly, that is the best way that you practice and then you learn, and then you can start whenever you receive a request. Then you can think of creating a calculated field. So mostly what we will use evaluate expression and then look up related value and then true or false conditions. These three are majorly used. This 3 through. So all these three are interlinked. First let we will create true or false. Okay, then we will create extract single instance. First is true or false. Second is extract single instance. Third is look up related value for this evaluate expression. If you want to create an evaluate expression, you need to have all this true or false single instance and look up related value. So make a note of all these 4. You can refer the document and then you can do some samples and then you can try practicing it. Okay, apart from this, so this is the priority one, are majorly used. Second is arithmetic calculation. Count related instance. So all these that I'm saying is based on my experience. Okay, so it differs to person. And the requirement that they are handling write count, related instance, and then some related instance. This 3. Then the most less used I think would be probably this prompt for value or text length, and then these are less used. Sometimes people don't use evaluate expression band also. They prefer evaluate expression and then convert currency and all. It's barely used only if there is a requirement. Okay, get yourself familiar. So organization, roles, organization, all it's more for a like security purpose, all those things, even a hierarchy roll up, and all it's mainly for securities and other stuff or reporting field something. So those are all barely used. I mean, only they will be using it for one time, not many times. They will create only these fields that I set as a priority. One will be created many times. So I will give you one activity. You can try that. It's a very simple activity. Okay, create a calculated field. Some worker to get the dependent, naming get the dependent. If I pick spouse, okay, you have to create a calculated field from worker and you have to get the dependent name, but the condition should be only if it is spouse, it should bring the dependent name. Okay, not the children only. So what we will do is we will create a calculated field. So this is a scenario. Let me tell you what to do, then you can try. Okay, so now I want to create a dependent type. First, what I said, pyramid. Okay, remember pyramid. Which is the last one? The spouse is the last one, the top one. You have to go it in a reverse order. So you have to say first type should be spouse is the first one. So you have to create a true or false condition. You should change this business object to dependent. And then you have to say dependent type is chill spouse. Okay, then you have created a true or false condition. Now you have dependent is actually a multi-instance field, right? Because it will have spouse, care, kids, parents, etc. It's a multi-instance field. You cannot use a multi-instance field. You have to convert it as a single instance because I need only for spouse, not for children. It will have everyone right. I need to only have spouse. And a worker cannot have multiple spouse, at least in India, right? Even that might be false. So, but yeah, so a worker can have only one spouse. Let's assume. Okay, so if that is the case, so yeah, so in that case, you have to extract a single instance of a dependent and you have to under the condition. You have to put the true or false condition that you created. The type is spouse. Okay, and then you have to create this extra single instance from worker. The type is from dependent, the extract single instance from worker. Finally, you create a lookup value and then lookup value from worker and then you go to that single instance. Then bring the name. It is a process. Okay, you try. If in case you are unable to do, let me know. Okay, I think we are good. So you can reach out to the team. I mean, whenever you are available, like during the next week, whenever you want to schedule 30 minutes or 1 hour maximum, we can catch up and if in case you have any queries, we can discuss. So that session will be purely for question and answers. And did they share you the files that I sent? I sent 2 files. I asked them to send it to you. Yes, but they didn't say. I just had to reach out to them again and again. Then they shared it with me. You did not get it. Yeah, I got it yesterday. I have to ask them multiple times to get those things. Okay, you got it right. Okay, let me what and all you might have received. Let me see. Report designer but one and then report writer. Yes, but end report writer, I have sent. Okay, so you have everything now. You need to calculate. It feels right. Okay, let me also send the calculated fields. Okay, great. So I will attach the calculated fields. I will send it to them. You can follow up with them and then ask them to share it with you again. Sure. Okay, we are almost come to the conclusion. So let me know. How do you feel? I mean, did the session was helpful? Whether a variable to understand basics and very able to understand some of the advanced reporting that I have showed you on the demo, and then are you able to follow? First thing, I mean, I was asking you from the beginning. So did I go in a fast pace or was it? Okay, do you feel it was helpful for you? I mean, I should practice. So I just practice and reach out to the people so that I can arrange. But please let them know beforehand from your end so that it won't be a challenge for me too. Schedule a class from you. See, that's what I said. I can give you one class. Okay, one more class we're in that will be for question and answer. Okay, any one class like 1 hour maximum. Okay, any day during next week. Okay, after that even I will be busy. So any day during next week you can say and tell them in advance. Like if you want the session to be on Wednesday, tell them at least on Monday so that I will be prepared. And then probably. Yeah, I think that would be good. I mean, see, basically, until you have access to this tenants right, please do practice. Okay, that is most important. If you are not practicing that, then it would be very difficult for you. At least know how to answer the questions. Okay, that would be sufficient to get a job. I believe you have noted down all the questions that I have shared, right? Because what I have is the file that I have write. I was about to share you the file. But what happened that file? Yes, hello. Yeah, so what happened is the file that I got right. It has a company name also. So I should not be sharing that with externals. So that's why I did. I was telling you, I was reading out the questions and I asked you to, write it down. So, see, with all these documents, definitely you can do very well in the interviews. Okay? Okay. Okay. You ask, you understand, I think you are able to follow very quickly. You are a quick learner, so definitely you can do very well. Okay, everything is like we have to keep on constant learning. Exactly, that is the most important thing. See, with Workday especially, not only with Workday, when it comes to technology, you should upgrade yourself. You cannot say that. Okay, I don't want to learn something like that. You should upgrade yourself. Only then we can see all these worksheets. And alright, most of the companies even do not know, okay, that there is an option called worksheets. See, it's not something that you see again. That's what it is. See, you have to start suggesting. So if you say that you know worksheets, right? You have to start suggesting. See, I would say from my point of view, okay, I would say report writer. It's not a technical role, right? It's not at all a technical role. Report writer should be a business consultant or a business analyst. That role should not be treated or considered as a technical role. It is a business consultant role. You have to be a consultant to the business. Business might say so many things. You cannot do all those things you should. As a report writer, you should know which is possible, which is feasible, what and all best way that you can show the report. So it's more of a consulting role, not at all a technical role. People, do you know, people do take it in a wrong sense, like they do not understand. They will say report writer is like technical role, but we have to convert that as a consultant role. It's in the hands of report writer. So my journey also started like that. So I was doing more of a technical report writer, and then I understood what business is asking for, why they need this. Just because they are asking. We should not generate and share. We should ask questions. Ask questions. Don't. Don't assume things as well as don't agree also for everything. Ask as many questions as possible. Unless you feel okay, it is a requirement that you have to create, otherwise don't create a new report. It's absolute waste. I used to tell my team members also not to create any reports. Don't create any new reports. By chance, if at all no other option that you are creating it, make it as a temporary report. Don't create a permanent report. As many as report you have in sister. It will reduce the performance of your system. It will impact your performance. That's why I used to tell don't create reports. Understand the requirement. Be like a consultant, like you suggest reports, like you have this report. Sometimes, in some companies, they do not ask for reports at all. The report writer will be redundant. Okay, there will be no task or something for the report writer. So what I will say, right? Schedule a meeting with each business unit. Business HRs, okay, the country HRs or the business people understand what they are using, what data they are interested to look into. Whether you have to suggest them, whether does that report help them? Does this dashboard help them? Do they want to change something on the dashboard? Mostly like a GPO. We call it as a GPO, Global Process Owners. Each function will have a respective GPOs. Each function, meaning talent, will have a GPO. Compensation will have a GPO. Payroll will have a GPO. Recruitment will have a GPO. So like that, each function in HR will have a GPO, Global Process Owners. So we have to schedule a meeting with them. Understand what is that? What is the data that they are looking out for? Whether are they using Workday? So all those things are part of a report writer. So that's why I said it has to be a consulting role, not a technical role. Okay, sure, okay. I wish you a great career, Shruti. And let's see, let's connect next week if you have any questions. Otherwise, if you don't have any questions also, that's fine, no problem. I wish you all the very best. Okay, so please forward your feedback to the team. Okay, and I hope the session was helpful to you and thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you and I wish you all the very best. Thank you, take care. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.